with support by the Medical College of Wisconsin, the War Memorial Center, and reachoutwis.org.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopko Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopko Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopko Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors. Grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@wtmj.com to learn more.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Find a bike, buy a bike, ride a bike during the nation's largest bike sale. That's right, the Wheel and Sprocket Bike Expo sale is back. And so is our trade-in, trade-up program, which means you can trade in your old bike for a gift card to use towards your new bike.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Electric bikes, road bikes, cargo bikes, mountain bikes, kid bikes, hybrid bikes. Over 2,000 brand new and used bikes on sale, along with thousands of accessories. From helmets and lights to car racks and more.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Find a bike, buy a bike, trading your old bike for a gift card towards a new bike. Friday noon to 8, Saturday 10 to 8, and Sunday 11 to 5 at the State Fair Park inside the Expo Center. Visit bikeexposale.com for details. Admission is free.
Life is short. We'll see you at the Bike Expo.
Outdoor Living Unlimited continues to build amazing backyard spaces. Imagine grilling on your new deck or entertaining friends on your outdoor kitchen. Adding a screen room is another way to enhance your space. Outdoor Living Unlimited provides ideas, custom designs, and installation of some of the area's finest projects. Stop by our showroom on Saturday, April 26th from 9 to 1 p.m. for our open house. See why Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 101, it is 34 degrees. Feel like temperature right now of 14 with those gusty winds. Mostly cloudy today, already reaching our high of 37. Clear skies tonight and cold with a low down to 22 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. A day of market fluctuation continues this afternoon as Wall Street is highly unstable amid the fallout continuing over President Trump's severe tariffs against virtually all U.S. trading partners.
President Trump Monday threatened to again increase tariffs on China if Beijing doesn't remove the retaliatory tariffs it placed on the U.S. The president said his administration would put additional tariffs on China of 50% effective Wednesday, April 9th. A senior White House official said this would be in addition to the 34% tariff President Trump announced last week, set to go into effect that same day. There are already 20% tariffs in place on China, which means there's a potential for a total of 104%. China called the Trump administration's policy, quote, economic bullying. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Meanwhile, overseas, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers currently working with trade partners as the world reacts to the tariff ripple effect. The head of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, Missy Hughes, telling WTMJ's Wisconsin's Morning News what partners are most worried about.
It fears that the tariffs might take us into a recession. And so investment all of a sudden becomes riskier. And folks are saying, well, we're going to wait and see what happens before they make decisions, especially about investing in the United States.
Governor Evers spending time in Germany and France before returning home to Wisconsin later this week. As the globe continues to react to tariffs, a developer has plans to put a casino next door to the home of world diplomacy.
It would hardly be the Vegas Strip, but long vacant land next to the United Nations in New York could sprout a casino. Developer Michael Hirschman is proposing a $10 billion project with parks, residential towers over the East River, and something dear to his heart, a museum of freedom and democracy. At a time when democracy is under threat, he tells Gothamist, I just don't think some of the folks in this country appreciate what we have. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Back at home, felony charges have been filed for family members in the death of a child in Milwaukee's North Side. Quintel Collins facing second-degree reckless homicide and neglect charges in the death of his 6-year-old nephew. The child's mother, DeQuella Collins, charged with neglecting a child leading to death. The child died from a gunshot wound to the head. Both Quintel and DeQuella back in court April 15th. With Food Waste Prevention Week is on, and Milwaukee has issued a citywide challenge. Restaurants, pantries, and farmers working to keep edible food out of landfills through Mayor Cavalier Johnson's Food Saver Challenge. Environmental Collaboration and Office Food Waste Coordinator Andy Shaka.
For culinary professionals, that might include waste assessments that help refine ordering processes. For gleaners and growers, it may include connecting our hardworking urban farmers directly with those who can pay them for surplus that would otherwise rot in the fields.
The end goal, redirecting 250,000 pounds of wasted food to those facing hunger. And a WTMJ exclusive, a celebration of life for the late Bob Uecker will be held August 24th ahead of the Brewers' home game against the Giants. President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger on Wisconsin's Morning News says there will be homages to Mr. Baseball throughout the day.
Even the baseballs and the bases will have special Bob Uecker identification on them. So just some things that, the fans will be able to enjoy and watch. And it really will be, pretty extensive. So we'll want to make sure the fans get to see all of it.
Emmy Award-winning broadcaster Bob Costas will lead the ceremony. For more information, you can text the word BOB, B-O-B, Bob, to our WTMJ Siding Unlimited talk and text line. That's 855-616-1620. Time now for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A lot of different ways you can describe the markets the last few days. Earlier today, CNN referring to the markets in wild gyration. Well, right now, the gyration is back into the green for at least two of the majors. Right now, the NASDAQ actually up 138 points on the day at 15,726. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 back above 5,000. It had been below that earlier today. Now sitting at 5,094. That's up 20 points on the day. Meanwhile, the Dow is down about 0.5% off 162 points at 38,153. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather coming up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 105.
It's Debbie Lazaga, and I'm so excited because I've chosen Kohler Services to transform my old bathtub into a beautiful new Luxstone shower this month. Kohler Services makes it so easy. They came to my home, took measurements, and answered all of my questions. I was able to feel the crushed stone wall material and design my custom shower. I can't wait for my installation. You can request your free quote for a custom Kohler Luxstone shower by visiting KohlerServicesWI.com. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
For those with a warm weather fashion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 18 to 24.6-ounce selected varieties Vandecamp's fish, $4.49. 4.5 to 5.3-ounce selected varieties Dan and Greek yogurt, 5 for $5. 9.5 to 10.75-ounce selected varieties Hostess mini donuts, 2 for $4.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh. Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. While the Brewers are now 5-5 after winning their series against the Reds over the weekend, they're moving forward for at least the next 15 days without newly acquired starting pitcher Nestor Cortez. He's on the IL with a left elbow flexor strain. Brewers off today. They'll begin a series against the Rockies in Colorado tomorrow. And the Bucks starting the day in 5th place in the East with 4 games to play this season. They'll take on the Timberwolves tomorrow and tonight in college basketball. The men's national champion will be crowned. Top seeds Houston and Florida at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. College basketball tournament updates brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Checking the roads now, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We've got a broken down vehicle on 794 South near Car Ferry Road. That's out of the way of traffic. And also on the left shoulder on 94 North, got a broken down vehicle there as well. Otherwise, your drive times this afternoon looking really good. No other major incidents or delays on the board. And your WTMJ forecast. If you're outside right now, you will feel both the wind and the chill. Technically, our high was 37 today, but it does not feel like that. A real feel temp right now around 15 degrees. Clear skies tonight. Actual temperature going to fall all the way to 22. Mostly sunny, 39 for your Tuesday. A rain-snow mix Wednesday and 42. Slight rain chance Thursday, 44. And mostly sunny, a little bit warmer Friday with a high around 48 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's partly cloudy, 37, 32 clouds in Green Bay, Waukesha 37, partly cloudy, and in Milwaukee, we've got partly cloudy skies and an actual temp around 33. I'm Adam Roberts, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 109.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State. Here's your host, Kristin Brey.
Good afternoon and happy Monday. I have 2 stories right now as far as don't always believe what you see on the internet. So obviously the stock market is still all over the place, but there was, this is wild, a single tweet this morning that was misinformation moved the stock market $4 trillion. So there was a tweet from Walter Bloomberg that said, Hassett, Trump is considering a 90-day pause in tariffs for all countries except China. So that moved the market 8% almost instantly, despite it not being true. And then news aggregators and journalists, unaware that it was not true, retweeted it. And then once it was revealed that it was not a true statement, the markets went back down. So obviously pretty high stakes with that kind of misinformation. Less high stakes is another video that got circulated over the weekend that had to do with the protests that happened all over the state, all over the country. Someone decided to start sharing a video of the Deer District where tens of thousands of people were there gathered, and try to say that it was the rally, the protest from Saturday. Indeed, it was not. It was a video of the 2021 Bucks playoffs run when there was tens of thousands of people in the Deer District. But yes, this is just both examples of be discerning before you just immediately retweet or share or believe anything on the internet. And maybe, just maybe, why fact checkers are a good thing. But speaking of the protests over the weekend, there was a lot of turnout. Every state, all 50 states, globally, there were cities all over the world that organized in a pro-democracy movement in response to what they were calling a hostile takeover. And I think there's 1,400 protests in total. In Wisconsin, we had one in Milwaukee in front of the federal courthouse. There was one in Madison in front of the Capitol. There was protests in Kenosha and Green Bay and Eau Claire. I think there was also some in much smaller towns than that. I did not go. Rhea, did you go to any of the protests over the weekend?
No, I was not outside this weekend.
You were an indoor cat this weekend?
I was very much indoors.
and it was interesting because I had friends who went, but on the one hand, I'm becoming much more protective of my time on the weekends to spend with Mike and Frankie, but also I don't know, just feeling it, and for everyone who went and felt like it moved them, it empowered them, it felt like they were in action and doing something. I think that's one of the reasons why protests can work. It can feel like it's a movement of solidarity.
Right.
But at least where I'm at, I was like, this isn't going to do much for me. And I don't know how much it does besides it obviously creates news. And so I am much more interested in dialogue and problem solving these days, and the people who are engaging in dialogue and problem solving and reaching across the aisle, and which it turned out really well because I had already had this interview scheduled. But in fact, our next guest just wrote about this, as far as there's a need and a time and a place for protests, but in really trying to move the needle on problems that affect all of us, it takes more than showing up with a protest sign. And so when we come back, we're going to talk to Emily Safos, who is the chair of the Democratic Party in Outagamie County, which is very red in northeastern Wisconsin, and talk about some of the things she's doing to actually have dialogue with people in her community. So stay with us on Spanning the State.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News each weekday from 11 to 1.
Bucks President Peter Feigin joins us live here in the studio right now.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty by listening to the Wisconsin's Midday News Podcast.
What you're seeing now is like the reality of, playing a season together, kind of, getting to know each other.
Powered by Siding Unlimited, siding, and a whole lot more.
Don't forget, take us with you wherever you go. We'd love to have you with us.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers, where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine. That's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristin Brey, and over the weekend there were national, global protests called Hands Off. And here in Milwaukee, I think there were some estimates around 9,000 people. I think in Madison there was over 10,000 people. Across the state there were protests. And protests do have a time and a place, and I think serve a certain purpose, but dialogue isn't always one of them. And so I'm so excited to be talking to Emily Safos, who is the chair of the Democratic Party in Outagamie County in northeastern Wisconsin, about what she's doing as a obviously left-leaning person in a red area to actually foster change. So welcome to the show, Emily.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here with you today.
So before we get to current events that you're organizing, I'm not sure we talked about it much on our show, but during the election, you ran for assembly. You were an assembly candidate for 2024 in the fall, and it was pretty well documented as far as how many doors you knocked, how much you were really out there, despite knowing that you live in a district that it was probably unlikely you were ever going to win. So what was that like when you were knocking on doors with people who were staunch Republicans and conservatives?
Yeah, I ran in a district outside of the Appleton area, so it was unwinnable, and we knew that going into it. But I was kind of dedicated, and still am, because I need it, I think, for my own heart, but also we as a nation to begin to connect those dots again for people, and create a situation where I'm on their door, introducing myself as a Democrat, but saying, hey, we can still find this common ground. We're being manipulated at the top to say we're either really far left or far right, but most of us still live in the middle. So that's kind of what I did for those long months, walking down dirt drives and up to doors with Trump signs and things like that. And that's what I was dedicated to doing throughout that whole campaign. And we, more often than not, were able to find that common ground. So it really instilled some hope in me.
That was gonna be my question. As far as in doing that, was it? Were you more hopeful by the end of it versus when you first started, as far as how it was going to go with people who are your neighbors?
Yeah, for sure. I think I just like my general view is like this altruistic kind of view of the world and my neighbors. But I think like that laid it bare for me. And I, at the beginning of it all was unsure. Like, I talked a good game in that I was like, we can find this common ground. But to put it into practice, like that's exactly what we found. And it really opened my eyes to the fact that no community on the left or the right is a monolith. A lot of us are operating in a very narrow kind of lane as far as the information we consume and our understanding of politics. And so for me, like I'm more dedicated now than ever to really getting back to face-to-face communications, not just, existing in my own echo chamber. Like I think that it is worthwhile to have those discussions that really widen your lens and understanding of the issues at hand so that we can come up with solutions that work for all of us. Like it's still possible. We're just being told it's not.
Totally. So then fast forward to Trump administration, everything that's been going on, and you organized a Medicaid town hall. So what was it? What was the purpose of it? And then how did it go?
Yeah, so the purpose of it was, there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, whether it's from Washington or from Madison, that no one's going to not be touched by in some way, shape, or form. And for us, Medicaid is a big issue because there are so many Wisconsinites that are covered by that. And with the cuts that they passed last month via that budget, we know that some of those cuts are going to be coming from Medicaid, and that's going to leave a lot of our communities in a lurch. So the whole purpose of that was to talk to a community that is typically red, and that's the way they vote, and try to open up dialogue where we have Republicans and we have Democrats and we have Medicaid recipients, so we can say, this is what it is, this is what it isn't, this is how it impacts you, both in a humanitarian sense and an economic sense for those that are more fiscally minded. But just kind of create something that's not accusatory and not inflammatory. It's just going through the nuts and bolts of things to kind of allow a space for us to ask questions and maybe find a little bit more common ground, or at least a better understanding of what any program is. So that's what we did for Medicaid, but we're hoping to continue that with Social Security and everything else that's, potentially on the chopping block, to say it's hitting home. And when it hits home, here's what it's going to look like. And we want to help each other in our own communities. So it's also I guess that was supplemental, is that we allowed that community to kind of brainstorm about what exists and what doesn't, and what does it mean for us to show up for our neighbors when all of these things fall away from the federal level. We're
talking to Emily Seifos, who is the chair of the Democratic Party of Allegheny County. And I guess knowing that that's your title, granted, I'm sure you built relationships. As we said, you were knocking doors. But I was thinking about this about a year ago with Journal Sentinel. We tried to organize a guns and mental health event in Wausau. And the reason we did it in Wausau was because, lots of gun owners, more rural areas. But I think because it was being put on by a Milwaukee newspaper, the turnout wasn't great, right? It's not necessarily a trusted source for people who probably would have benefited the most from the conversation that was had that night by looking at what the flyer was and be like, I'm not going to this. And so if you are the one, or Democratic Party of Allegheny County is the one organizing these events, how are you building the trust to get people from all sides of the political spectrum to the event?
Solid question. And worthwhile. I think I'm acknowledging right now the Democratic Party as a whole is polling abysmally low.
Yes, totally.
But I really think that the community centered. So for example, this Medicaid thing in New London was put on by a grassroots group that is nonpartisan that works in New London. And I was just a part of that. So it's kind of gathering the people that you can. We had a Republican that is a Medicaid recipient that was speaking that evening about his worries about Medicaid being cut, for example. So it's kind of pulling all the strings that you can together, and not, frankly, strategically not leading with any one party, because whether or not you're on the left or the right, we are being told to mistrust each other. There are still good people within both party structures, I think, that want to find that common ground. But we really need to get back to like that dialogue. So when we operated there, like it is a grassroots group. We're not leading with the Democratic Party of anything. And again, we're not like preaching our gospel truth, our platform as a party or an organization. It is simply, here's what it is, here's what it isn't, and here's what it's going to mean for your community if it goes away. Like that was it. And so I'm hopeful, and we postcarded to Republicans, Democrats, and independents to make sure that we had a wide swath of people that at least knew about it. And we're going to keep doing it over and over and over again in a way that is nonpartisan, that is community first, and that is value centered.
Do you feel like that was the reaction to everyone who showed up that night as far as it had the value it provided?
Yeah, I think so. Like we had some people reach out afterward and some folks that said they couldn't make it, but there was one Republican that admitted to me post this whole thing, knowing who I am. Yeah, I'm a Republican. Yeah, I voted for Trump. But I don't know how Medicaid works. And that was kind of, you know, like, and so it's planting those seeds and it's making sure that you're connecting dots for folks that frankly, like, don't get into the weeds on politics because it takes a lot of time and energy and effort nowadays. But looking past those, like, you know, those tickers and everything like that to be like, this is how it hits home, guys. And we really need to talk about whether that's good or bad for your community. And that's my only concern. It's not anything else. I don't have a hidden agenda. It's like, do what's right. And right now there's people at the top that are not doing what's right for Wisconsinites. And that's what we're trying to point out.
Yeah. So, like I said, you wrote about this in the recombobulation areas about what doing the town hall and everything. And it was interesting because you lead with what I was talking about on the top as far as the role of protests and empty chair town halls. And so how did you kind of come to connecting the dots? And you're not saying that protests are, you know, futile, but how did that come up for you as far as feeling like, I got to write about this?
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's yes and, you know, like it's yes, do the protest, because I think there's the community and the energy and just like the overwhelming, you know, feeling of outrage at what's happening. I think that's important to demonstrate, but don't think that that's going to move the needle because frankly, whether it's protests or empty chair town halls, I know we have a congressman who is kind of MIA as far as, you know, responding to constituents. Those things are easily dismissed by the right as being, you know, you whiny liberals, you snowflakes. Like I've been told that multiple times. And so what I don't want that, you know, we have real problems that need to be addressed. And so we have to be strategic about how we, you know, vocalize those and how we show up so that they aren't dismissed because there are real issues that people are trying to call attention to. And so how do we, especially in areas like Outagamie, which we went blue for Susan Crawford, so I'm very proud of that. But outside of Appleton, we are really red. And so how do we show up in those communities in a way that's simply saying that hurt and that pain you're feeling, that is tied to a policy choice. And we're here to address that policy choice so that it's not dismissed because we really just want to do right by our community members going forward. Yeah, so it's yes and it's doing all the things. And I think that less glamorous, maybe not Instagram worthy work is something that we all need to just get into at this moment in time if we truly are dedicated to not getting into this situation again.
That was going to be my last question as far as what advice for anyone listening right now who is less interested in the partisan politics of it all, but actually solution-oriented problem solving. What would you say they should look out for or try to start themselves?
For sure. I think there's a lot of really incredible grassroots groups that exist around the state that have been doing the work long before Trump and will continue doing it long after this administration, but it's worthwhile work. I would get into those groups or into your local county parties. Frankly, we're not as connected to the tippy top of the Democratic Party as you'd be led to believe. And there are a lot of really dedicated like volunteers and people in their communities there. But just remember, don't be in your own echo chamber all the time. That's not helpful, especially in Wisconsin. I think I don't want to say opportunity, but because of what's happening at the federal level and the hurt that is being caused economically and in a humanitarian sense, we have a responsibility, I think, to remind every single person we come into contact with that is a policy choice and to really drive that home so it erodes at that foundation. Because when you're working against people, maybe don't be in public service, you know, like, and that's what's happening nowadays. So really just kind of reminding folks like that pain you're feeling, there's a policy choice tied to that, and that, you know, we need to hold those people accountable by voting them out next time.
All right, Emily Sefos is the chair of the Democratic Party of Outagamie County. Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you so much, and thanks for all you do.
Absolutely. Have a great day, and we'll be back with more after this.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. We talk all the time about Tri-County Contracting, the place to go for roofs and siding, but don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also does windows. Need a new front entry door? Tri-County Contracting. Or maybe a patio door that's always jammed. Get your free estimates today. They've been helping homeowners like you for 46 years. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, oh yeah, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods has a great reputation for producing custom team apparel. We're total team outfitters and we can handle the biggest jobs. Our success in custom team apparel led us into group and corporate apparel. Plus, we have a full selection of promotional products for employee gifts, special events, you name it. And we've made it easy for our customers to firm up their orders. The group sale web stores that we build for our customers are a simple way of gathering all the information you need. They're easy to work, easy to understand, and with them you'll have access to nearly limitless options. We've seen that most times we're better priced than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer. Plus Nike and Under Armour choices that the other guys can't get. And we offer a huge brand selection from Yeti, North Face, and Carhartt too. This is Brian Burkhardt. For team, group, or corporate custom outfitting and promotional products, it's going to be really hard to beat our prices, selection, and ease of buying for any size budget and every size company. And that's why we always say,
You can't beat Burkhardt.
New Berlin and Fox Point.
Jake suffered with carpal tunnel syndrome.
Tingling numbness in my hands and fingers, not sleeping well at night, tossing and turning, trying to manage with pain pills and stretching, and it just wasn't helping.
He didn't want the traditional invasive carpal tunnel surgery.
I had seen people with bandages and scars and clubs for hands. I just don't have time to be incapable of doing things for 6 to 8 to 10 weeks.
Then he learned about the Ovation Hand Institute and the Ovation Technique, an ultra minimally invasive procedure done in the office.
I wanted to get it looked at sooner than later. So I had the virtual consult. It was very thorough as far as it felt like I was sitting in a doctor's office. I was booked for the procedure 2 weeks later, had my right hand done. Very quick procedure. It was really great. That very night when I went home, it was the first time in probably 3 months my hand did not wake me up.
Book an appointment with the Ovation Hand Institute and find out if you're a candidate for the Ovation Technique.
Probably the most surprising thing was how quickly I was able to do things again. I'm cooking dinner, I'm doing yard work and all that kind of stuff the next day.
Visit ovationhand.com. ovationhand.com.
Well, welcome back to Spanning the State. Adam Roberts is about to do the news, but one thing about Adam is that he knows most towns in Wisconsin. So, Adam, are you familiar with Spread Eagle, Wisconsin?
I have heard of Spread Eagle, Wisconsin, yes.
Have you heard of the Gold Nugget in Spread Eagle, Wisconsin?
I have.
Well, they made a movie about it, and we're going to be talking about that with the director after ABC News and Adam giving you the local news on WTMJ.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. A wave of tariffs impacting the markets around the world with sell-offs not seen in nearly 15 years. President Trump's tariffs on imports has economists, lawmakers, and leaders concerned. The president meeting this hour with Israel's prime minister at the White House, both discussing the collapse of Gaza ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. But Israel is still facing tariffs, too, even though they removed duties on U.S. goods. ABC's Alexis Christophorus has more on the outcome.
I think a lot's going to depend on how that meeting goes. What is the vibe investors get from that? Is President Trump willing to negotiate? And if so, by how much?
Economists say the back and forth tariffs and uncertainty in the markets could spark a recession. President Trump insists his policies will be good for the U.S. in the long run and likened any pain by tariffs to taking medicine. Some lawmakers, even supporters of Trump, say tariffs will hurt the U.S. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. I'm Adam Roberts. School day continuing at A.E. Burdick School in Milwaukee on the city's south side. This after a threat over the weekend against the school. Police say a person sent threatening messages to a student and that they've increased monitoring at the school throughout the day today. They are still searching for an unknown suspect. Meanwhile, Milwaukee County judge reacting to ICE arrests at the Milwaukee County Courthouse in March and at the Public Safety Building this past Friday. The sheriff's office says they had no part in either incident, but County Chief Judge Carl Ashley is calling the incidents, quote, potential interference with the justice system and that they have caused confusion over legal protections. The identities of those arrested have not been released. And Amtrak service through Wisconsin is back on track after the discovery of corroded rail cars caused service disruptions last week, impacting both the Borealis and Hiawatha lines. Lines were running at times with bus substitutions once corrosion was detected. Amtrak says customers should book early to guarantee a spot on their train, as both lines are operating with a limited number of cars this week. Time now for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Well, right now, it is a mixed bag as the market numbers have gone up and down since the bell rung this morning. Right now, the Dow is off just under 1% on the day, 305 in the red at 38,005. Meanwhile, the NASDAQ is actually up on the day, 28 points in the green at 15,615, and the S&P 500 back down 4 points this afternoon at 5,070 even. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Going over the roads now, your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Looking at the map this hour, we've got a few broken down vehicles still left across the system, including one on 794 East, just past the Hone near Lincoln Memorial on the right shoulder. Overall, though, the system's looking very good this hour. No other major incidents or delays. You should be easy going wherever you're off to this afternoon. And your WTMJ forecast for today, as you step outside, it is going to feel brisk, to put it mildly. We're already reaching our high very early this morning, and it's been basically a temperature free fall throughout the afternoon. Down tonight to 22. It will be clear out, though. Mostly sunny, still cold for your Tuesday, a high of 39. Rain snow mix possible Wednesday and 42. At marginal warm-up continuing through Thursday, 44 the high, 48 and mostly sunny on Friday. Right now in Appleton, it's mostly cloudy and 33. In Brookfield, clouds and 37. And in Milwaukee, it's partly cloudy and right at freezing, 32 degrees. I'm Adam Roberts. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Outdoor Living Unlimited continues to build amazing backyard spaces. Imagine grilling on your new deck or entertaining friends on your outdoor kitchen. Adding a screen room is another way to enhance your space. Outdoor Living Unlimited provides ideas, custom designs, and installation of some of the area's finest projects. Stop by our showroom on Saturday, April 26th from 9 to 1 p.m. for our open house. See why Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
A Rolex isn't as cheap as a Casio, and you can't buy a gold bar for the price of a candy bar. But while they last, you can buy high-end Beautyrest Black and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for nowhere near high-end prices. Hassellus Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These are the best of the best, and now you can get them for way less. Like a Beautyrest Black LX Hybrid was $3,599, but now it's just $971. Or a Sealy Posturepedic Golden Acres Pillow Top was $1,093, but the floor model is just $546. Visit any employee-free, hassle-less showroom and test your favorite floor model without salespeople breathing down your neck. You won't find these mattresses priced this low anywhere else. It's like buying a Lamborghini for $10 grand just because it sat on the showroom floor. Only a few floor models are available at each Hassellus mattress location, and when they're gone for good. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristin Brey, and did you know, because I did not, but did you know that there is an unincorporated town in Wisconsin near the basically on the border of the UP called Spread Eagle? Did you also know that in that town, there is a strip club called the Gold Nugget? Not Lapland, the Gold Nugget. But yes, both of those things are true. And Paige McKenna, who is a filmmaker based in Green Bay, just premiered her second film called Gold, the documentary, which explores misogyny, bodily autonomy, and financial independence through the lens of the women who work at the Gold Nugget. And she joins me here in person now. Welcome to the show, Paige.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
So how did you happen upon the Gold Nugget, Paige?
Good question. So I actually, when I premiered my first film, Seeds of Life, in Green Bay, one of the women who worked at the Gold Nugget was in the audience. And so she approached me after the film and said, I think I have a story for you. Now, that first film was about a Catholic nun. And, this film is about dancers. So it was a bit of a leap.
How did you think that these? Okay.
Yep. But I mean, it's all kind of centered around, empowering women. My first film was kind of a women empowerment film as well. So trying to kind of keep with that theme of things. So it really just, the story fell into my lap and I thought, I can't not do this project.
So what was it like the first time you showed up at the Gold Nugget at a strip club? Like, had you been in strip clubs before, or what was it? Were you a little nervous when you first walked in?
Yes. So I had not been into a strip club ever before. And so I felt a lot of different emotions for sure. I think the main thing was I just felt really uncomfortable and angry at the men that were in there. Like I felt very protective of the women who were dancing, but something that I also didn't expect to feel was kind of me judging the women, like when I first, went in there. And I had these ideas in my mind, like, oh, they probably are sad or, traumatized and things. But so I just looked internally on like why I had those feelings and those judgments. And so I ended up, like finding myself too through this project of just like not judging people and just being more open and not projecting things onto people and making these narratives up in my head that I had, of these women. So I've grown a lot.
Yeah, I would imagine. And so you show up, you start kind of interviewing people, but what stood out to you? Like, what was the thread that you're like, oh, there's something here and I'm going to keep pulling on it?
Yeah, mainly the club is run by a woman who was a dancer in the 90s. And so, you don't hear of many strip clubs run by women. So that was very interesting to me. And then just the fact that she runs the club in a way where she empowers women to, leave abusive relationships, to be financially stable, to really better themselves. And so that was also very inspiring to me because you don't really hear, the things that you do hear about strip clubs are, usually negative. And so this was like a positive. And then once I started talking to the women, they have overcome traumas through dancing. Like they're, whatever traumas they have, they've become empowered and confident through the job, which to me was like very surprising because I would have never thought that, you can kind of come out as a very empowered individual after working there.
It was funny though, as you were saying that, my mind went to the J-Lo movie Hustle, but I'm guessing these girls are not drugging and stealing money from their customers.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
But it was similar as far as, and it's an interesting thing to explore because I feel like there's a lot of conversation right now about OnlyFans, right? Yep. One of the highest grossing companies in the country, in the world.
Yeah.
Women on there are making millions of dollars a month.
Yep.
And yet there is still judgment. There is this conversation around sex work and people's how uncomfortable they are with it. And so how much do you feel like, is that baked into the reaction that the film is getting when people see it?
It's been interesting. So we've gotten quite a few rejections from film festivals, which has surprised me actually, because so the film Anora just won 5 Oscars.
Yes.
And it's about a stripper. And
it's pretty explicit. I have not seen it yet, but I've heard it's pretty explicit.
It is. It's a wonderful film. And so that I thought, would be, it like was perfect timing. Like maybe we would get, to ride the coattails of them a little bit. And it's been interesting. We've gotten rejected from a lot of local film festivals as well, which has been surprising.
So you're not, I'm guessing maybe not in the Milwaukee Film Festival.
Correct. We are not, unfortunately. So, I don't know what it is. If it's, Gold is very, like the first couple of minutes, definitely probably rubs people the wrong way. It's a very, feminist film. And so I don't know if people are still, afraid to talk about sex work, or if people are, wanting dancers to just be dancers and not to have a voice. And so I really don't know, but it's been frustrating to kind of see that the reaction that we have been getting. So,
well, you were at the Beloit Film Festival, though, right? So what was the
yes.
reaction from the festival that did air your movie?
Yeah, it was, every time we've screened the film, it's been nothing but positive feedback we've gotten. It's, I think mostly from women, like women who see the film, they can relate in many different ways to some of the things that the women are going through in the film. And so, and the men that have said things after has really opened their eyes to, like, these aren't just, women that are there to, like, please you. It's, they have a personality and they're really intelligent women. And I think that's opened a lot of the eyes of some of the dudes that have come to see the film. So
that is really interesting. All right. So like we said, it was at the Beloit Film Festival. Do you have any news as far as where you're hopefully going to take it next?
Yeah, actually, we just got accepted into a film festival in New Mexico. So I'll be traveling there in June. And then we're doing a double feature with the Green Blah. It's the history of punk in Green Bay.
Oh, I think we talked about that on this show. Yeah, I totally remember this. Yes.
So we're doing a double feature for charity. So May 18th in Green Bay, we're doing a double screening, and it's all the proceeds are going to the Wise Women Gathering Place, which is a local, they do everything, a nonprofit. So
that is awesome. So where can people get more information about the film, about you?
Yeah, so goldthedocumentary.com is our website, and we update that with screenings and, future screenings and awards and all that stuff. So it's all on that website and social media too.
Social media. And May 18th?
Yep.
I'm going to put that in my calendar.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Paige, thank you so much for coming in. This sounds like a fascinating, necessary movie, even if it is slightly uncomfortable, which is why we had you on the show today. Because maybe we made some people slightly uncomfortable today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Paige McKenna is a filmmaker based in Green Bay. The movie is Gold, the documentary, goldthedocumentary.com to get more information. And we'll be back with more after this.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. Happy New Year. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew, but didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million, but because your books are a mess, you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Imagine finding out expenses were not properly recorded or sales were double recorded. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to clean up their books and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we like to visit our business clients. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
We know that the people of Milwaukee are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
I'm Sandy Max, and it is time for another monthly Monday Makeover.
Hi, Sandy. Thanks for coming to Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa.
It is absolutely my pleasure, and today we're talking about the power of using makeup brushes.
Having the right tool just makes the job so much easier. Think about when you're cooking in your kitchen. You have your favorite knife that you grab. It either feels good in your hand or you know it's going to cut through that particular piece really well. The same thing happens with your makeup, too. If you have the right brush to apply your foundation is going to look flawless. If you have the right brush to apply your eyeshadows, they're going to go on so smooth.
Sometimes your cosmetics come with a brush, so I've got that one. Do I need other brushes?
Well, the brushes that come with it are good in a pinch, but they're not going to do as great a job.
So how do I pick the right brush? How do I know?
Well, you can come in for advice, of course, and we'll be happy to show you the brushes.
How do you maintain a quality brush?
Well, you should wash them at least once a week with a quality brush cleaner. Brush cleaners are designed to break down makeup and then also to provide some antibacterial aspect to it. Brushes contain a lot of bacteria. We put them in a closed container, either a drawer or a closet, right? And it just is a breeding ground. We have a great set for spring and Mother's Day for gift giving, but you can gift it to yourself as well. It's a little brush duo, and it has two brushes. So one of them is for the face, so you would have a powder brush and a blush brush, and the other's a great little eyeshadow brush and eye shader brush. And they're beautiful, they're nice, they feel good in your hand like that good knife, and they're really super soft. So those are a limited edition, and we have them in stock now while supplies last.
And I love that they're multi-purpose, that you're using both ends.
It's so much easier for those of us that like to travel that we don't have to carry, 10 brushes with us because they're very multi-purpose.
When you have a nice brush like that, you are going to look and feel your best because you're applying the product the right way.
Right. And your product's going to last you a lot longer, too.
Call Merle Norman or book online at mnsalonbrookfield.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristin Brey. We were just talking about a documentary that takes place in Spread Eagle, Wisconsin, the Gold Nugget, which is a strip club up there, which is owned by a woman. And the director, Paige McKenna, made it about this place and about the dancers. And when she first emailed me about it, because she's friends with Nathan Deming, who we had on for his movie, February, that's also filmed in Wisconsin. That's a fictional movie. But there was this part that Avina's like, well, how comfortable are people talking about strip clubs on the radio? But, as a former, this is probably not going to shock anyone who has listened to me for any extended period of time, as a women's studies major and a sexual health educator in college, if there was going to be on anyone's show, it was probably going to be on this one. So, but I'm very excited. I actually do think I'm going to go up and try to see it because I think it also, who knew that there was a town called Spread Eagle, Wisconsin? I thought that was just one of the positions in Cell Block Tango in Chicago. Yeah. Anyways, there's another documentary that I am looking forward to seeing because it's taken a very long time to actually make, apparently. So, Rhea, Brady Street holds a place in your heart.
It is my home.
Do you feel like you know much about the history of Brady Street?
Honestly, I've had it here and there. Not a lot, though.
Okay. Do you ever look through the little looking glass thing that they have on Brady Street where it's like not binoculars, but when you go to sightseeing type places, and you can look through. Usually it is binoculars, and you can go see for a site in the distance. But this is when you look in it. It basically gives you the perspective of what Brady Street looked like in the 60s, and it's some kind of 360 aerial view of if you turn it, looking up and down Brady Street. It's kind of like a panoramic photo, but it looks like you're looking at the street. It's pretty cool.
Do you know where it's at?
I feel like it's on the north side of the street, further east, like past Jack's.
Okay.
Past,
Yep.
I think it's past
Jesus, by
Joe Katz.
Walgreens.
Not as far as Walgreens, but closer to that way. Might be by Pete's Pub. Anyways, there is a documentary that will be airing at the Milwaukee Film Festival that is aiming to tell the story of Brady Street. And so obviously it's had a lot of iterations over time, different immigrants, different groups of immigrants that have called Brady Street home. It's been 150 years of immigration and change there. So the documentary is called Brady Street, Portrait of a Neighborhood. And so it was produced by Doc UWM, so the documentary program at University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, which is one of the best documentary film schools in the country. And so it's taken place it's not just one director, though. So there's roughly 80 different students who have participated in the making of this film. So they interviewed local historians. So I'm sure John Gerda's in there. If I was a betting woman, I would bet John Gerda was interviewed for this documentary. Business owners, longtime residents, and basically talk about, and it dates back to the 1860s. So I don't know how much time they spend on each era or decade, but I think this sounds really cool. And so, I'm always excited when Milwaukee Film Festival comes up, but and the local spin that they give on for local filmmakers. And so would you go see this one?
I would absolutely go see that. The only information I've heard about Brady was an Uber driver said that the street is based off of a street in San Francisco. That's the only thing, and I don't believe it's true.
Which one?
Just the whole street. If you start
like Haight-Ashbury? Is that what he is referencing?
I don't know what's.
He didn't say which street. He just said
there's a street in San Francisco that looks exactly the same in Brady, and they built it the same way. I never fact checked it. I was like, okay, cool, thanks.
The only one I could guess that they were trying to say would be Haight-Ashbury.
Okay,
but also Brady Street is like, as referenced in this the documentary, is like 150 years old. So it's not like, oh, Haight-Ashbury is like a thing during the civil rights movement and the hippie movement and everything. So like, let's replicate that. I think it's kind of more organically in some of these cities. It's like how State Street was in Madison, that it just kind of became the street that it was. It has similarities, but I don't know maybe we're wrong. Maybe if you know what Ria's talking about, or Ria's Uber driver is talking about, as far as what street Brady Street was modeled off of in San Francisco.
Maybe it's in the doc.
I can't think of one, but there's a lot of things I don't know. So, all right. If you know the answer to that, if we're right or wrong on that, 855-616-1620, the Citing Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. And we'll be back after this.
Are you on track to achieve your retirement plans? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We've recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move to Creative expands our ability to provide comprehensive wealth management, investment advisory, and retirement planning services. Now is the time to put your lifetime of hard work into action. For over 37 years, we've helped clients toward making their retirement dreams become a reality, and we'd like to help you too. And the best part, your plan will be completely tailored to you. Our in-house team of specialists will take the time to learn about you and your family, review your current situation, and find out what your goals are. Then we'll design a plan to help you get there. To get started, request your free meeting today with one of our fiduciary advisors by visiting creativeplanning.com. Whether you have met with us in the past or this will be your first meeting with us, we're excited to introduce Kowal Investment Group to you as Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com today.
Historic Fox & Hound Supper Club gift cards make perfect year-round birthday, anniversary, and thank you gifts. With the buy one dinner, get one free offer, it's like getting a free gift card. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com and enjoy your free dinner.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with Sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. We were just talking about the Brady Street documentary that's going to be screened at the Milwaukee Film Festival, and we had a comedian on the text line from the 414 text and said, "Did it take so long to film the Brady Street film because they couldn't find anywhere to park?" Dun-dun-dun.
That's good. Sorry, I couldn't find it.
Rhea likes it. And then someone said from the 262, Peter said from the 262, I always thought Brady Street reminded me of Newberry Street in Boston's Back Bay area. I'm less familiar. I've been to Boston like once.
I've never been. I'm actually scared to go.
Why are you scared to go to Boston?
I don't know. I just feel like they're going to be like, when their accent, they'll just dog me out. I'm nervous.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack there. All right. We're going to do the top of the hour news. And when we come back, we will spin around the state on Spanning the State.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Find a bike, buy a bike, ride a bike at the nation's largest bike sale. I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket, and our Bike Expo sale is back at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds this weekend inside the Expo building. Electric bikes, road bikes, cargo bikes, mountain bikes, kid bikes, hybrid bikes, all on display and ready to ride. So whether you're seeking health and wellness, adventure and fun, or just a new hobby, the path to your new journey leads to the Bike Expo sale. And remember, all of our bikes come with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee, which means you can ride it for 30 days. And if you don't love it, we'll refund your money.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Find a bike, buy a bike, ride a bike. Friday noon to 8, Saturday 10 to 8, and Sunday 11 to 5 inside the Expo Center. Visit bikeexposale.com for details. Admission is free.
Life is short. We'll see you at the Bike Expo.
Outdoor Living Unlimited continues to build amazing backyard spaces. Imagine grilling on your new deck or entertaining friends on your outdoor kitchen. Adding a screen room is another way to enhance your space. Outdoor Living Unlimited provides ideas, custom designs, and installation of some of the area's finest projects. Stop by our showroom on Saturday, April 26th from 9 to 1 p.m. for our open house. See why Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved, but here you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
2 o'clock on the dot and 32 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Julia Fellow. Tonight's going to be cold. The low will be 22. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 39 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, markets going up and down right now. They're down. NASDAQ just went up a little bit. Very unstable. Fallout continues over President Trump's severe tariffs against virtually all U.S. trading partners.
President Trump Monday threatened to again increase tariffs on China if Beijing doesn't remove the retaliatory tariffs it placed on the U.S. The president said his administration would put additional tariffs on China of 50%, effective Wednesday, April 9th. A senior White House official said this would be in addition to the 34% tariff President Trump announced last week, set to go into effect that same day. There are already 20% tariffs in place on China, which means there's a potential for a total of 104%. China called the Trump administration's policy, quote, economic bullying. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Right now, the president is meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It could be an indicator as to how the markets perform later this week, according to ABC News' Alexi Christoforous.
I think a lot's going to depend on how that meeting goes. What is the vibe investors get from that? Is President Trump willing to negotiate? And if so, by how much? And I think if they are positive, if they believe that, you know, there is room for negotiating, that we could see stocks bump back up. I don't know if we're going to be in the green by the end of the day, but we could see investors feel comfortable enough to come back in a little bit.
A news conference was canceled with the two today. A smaller Oval Office pool spray with the leaders is still scheduled, though, to take place. Governor Tony Evers is currently overseas right now, working with trade partners as the world reacts to all the tariff ripple effects. The head of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, Missy Hughes, tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
It fears that the tariffs might take us into a recession. And so investment all of a sudden becomes riskier. And folks are saying, well, we're going to wait and see what happens before they make decisions, especially about investing in the United States.
The governor is spending time in Germany and France and will return home later this week. A WTMJ exclusive today, the celebration of life for late Bob Uecker will be held August 24th ahead of the Brewers' home game against the Giants. Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger tells WTMJ's Wisconsin Morning News.
Even the baseballs and the bases will have special Bob Uecker identification on them. So just some things that, the fans will be able to enjoy and watch. And it really will be, pretty extensive. So we'll want to make sure the fans get to see all of it.
Emmy Award-winning broadcaster Bob Costas will lead the ceremony. Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything is going up and down. The Dow is now in the red, down 1%, down 382. S&P 500 down 16. NASDAQ is down 15. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 2:03.
It's the biggest door in your house. Time to give it the attention it deserves. Vince Vitrano here talking about Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. Updating your garage door increases the value of your home. It's the first thing people see, and it's the best return for your money on investment. At Lifetime Door, if you have an emergency, they'll come out 7 days a week to service existing garage doors and openers. 5% off any service or install at Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. Get started now, 262-783-4004, lifetimedoor.net.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
I basically had a perpetual sinus infection where they would clear, get the meds.
And it didn't do anything. Medications may not really help. They can be a temporary fix instead of trying to find the real root of a breathing triangle problem. And that's Mom chiming in. And what you're about to hear next was a first for Advent.
So my symptoms were the same. We actually had the same procedure on the same day. It was just a matter of, let's just do this. Why put it off?
An in-office procedure at Advent to get you breathing well is very convenient, and you shouldn't put it off because breathing well changes lives.
I do remember the first deep breath.
Oh, I remember that.
The feeling of whoa, this is great.
Since then, breathing has gotten easier. Sleeping has gotten easier.
I came in over 10 years ago when I couldn't breathe ever, and now I can breathe. That's the best way I can put it.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Good news, bad news for Brew Crew. Good news, the team is 5-5 after beginning the season 0-4. Bad news, starting pitcher Nestor Cortez is on a 15-day injured list with a left elbow flexor strain. The Brewers manager, Pat Murphy.
We're not playing great. Now, I'm not going to candy coat it. We're not playing great. You can say, well, they won 5 out of 6. What are you talking about? We're not playing great. I think we'll get it.
Brewers begin a 3-day series against the Rockies in Colorado tomorrow. Bucks begin the day in 5th place in the Eastern Conference playoff race with 4 regular season games to play. College basketball will crown a national champion tonight in top seeds Houston and Florida. They'll take the floor in San Antonio. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic, everything looks really good in southeast Wisconsin. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight is cold. The low will be 22. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 39. Rain-snow mix hits us Wednesday with a high of 42. Rain chances Thursday with a high of 44. Sunny Friday with a high of 48 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 37 degrees. Green Bay, 32 degrees. And Waukesha, 37 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time approaching 2:07.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristin Brey.
Hello, hello. Indeed, indeed. We do this every day after the 2 o'clock news. We spin the wheel. We spin the big wheel to see where we're going to head. Sometimes it's places we've never been. Sometimes it's places we've been often. So let's find out where we're going first. Madison. We go there often, largely because there's a lot of news that comes out of Madison. All right. So you may have remembered a couple weeks ago, we talked about the increase in violations in Madison for excessively salting sidewalks. That it nearly tripled this year compared to last year. We also discussed how you have to be called in. It's not something that they just come around and like, oh, there's a lot of salt. You have to be called in for by your nosy neighbors. But on the flip side, because there was not that much snow this year, there was far fewer violations for unshoveled sidewalks than there usually is. So the city received 553 complaints of snow removal violations last winter. So this past winter, which is down from 866 complaints the previous winter. And so I guess that's good, but I guess that's one of the benefits of not having as much snow. I wonder how much revenue cities in Wisconsin depend on from these violations. Like, do you think that's built into the budget? Because they're like, oh, people are going to, like parking tickets, right? Or is it just kind of a cherry on top situation?
That's a really good question.
Because you would assume that you want people to not, you want people to follow the rules, right? And shovel or not salt too much or et cetera, et cetera. But you know people are going to do it. So how much do you budget in what those violations are going to be? I don't know. We have to talk to a city planner. All right. Also, speaking of snow, very unhappy with the snow that was coming down when I left my house this morning.
It was so nice out yesterday. I don't know what happened.
Are you betting that we have one more big snow dump before summer's actually here?
Oh, absolutely.
You think so?
We have at least one more snowstorm and then another 2-3 light snows.
I heard Scafidi this morning talking about how he's put his shovels away, that he will not come back out. So I don't know what happens if you're that obstinate about it.
What a fool.
That you're just like, well, I guess I have to let it melt now.
And when we have the snowstorm, what are you going to do then?
I don't know. Call in sick? He would. All right. Anyways, let's see where we're going next.
Cudahy.
All right. The Cudahy Health Department is adding a new leg to their services. Well, actually, 4. That's a 3-year-old golden doodle and certified therapy dog, Stella. So according to the health officer for Cudahy Health Department, Stella and her handler, owner, and public health liaison, Jill Calais, completed several courses to be prepared for their joint role. They completed 2 obedience courses, a canine good citizen certification, and a certification from the Alliance of Therapy Dogs, officially making them a pet therapy team in July of 2024. Stella's training has prepared her to comfort individuals who are facing emotional, physical, and psychological challenges. Stella's services are not a commonality, according to the Journal Sentinel. The only similar situation in recent years was a facility dog within the city of Waukesha, but that dog recently passed. I actually interviewed that dog's handler.
Wait, really?
Yeah, not on this show, on my previous show, and that dog was. They got that dog after the obviously the terrible incident for the Christmas parade.
Oh God!
And so it made a huge difference. I mean, she just spoke so highly as far as the difference that having that dog in their department made.
You remember the dog's name?
I don't.
Oh, well, R.I.P.
I'll look it up. But yes, so outside of the work that the Cudahy Health Department, Stell and Calais, their services at Ascension Columbia St. Mary's Hospital and Aurora St. Luke Medical Center. So yeah, so that's a great little story as far as therapy dogs doing work for the community. All right, when we come back, there was a couple different Wisconsin in the wild situations over the weekend as far as some people who are from here who had a great late night audio clip. Some people who went to school here, who gave a Emmy-winning monologue last night, and then some people who are not from here at all, but just making fun of something that happened here. So we will talk about all of that after this.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Hey, boaters!
This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. And if you're a boater and you haven't been here, ask around. And I think some of your boater buddies will tell you you're missing out. Because at Kendor Marine, we have everything you need but the water. And when you get here, you'll know that's no exaggeration. So get in the know, because boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters!
From fishing to water sports and everyday essentials like anchors and life jackets, along with an incredible selection of hardware, Kendor Marine is a boater's paradise. This is Dave Doro, and our endless selection of boating parts and accessories all but assure you one-stop shopping for all your boating needs. And that's why boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
Brewers baseball is the sound of summer in Milwaukee. And now you can catch the Brewers on local TV for select Tuesday night games.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she
It's
goes.
Brew Crew Tuesdays. On April 15th, the Crew take on the Detroit Tigers at 6:40 p.m.
Swing, he went. Another strikeout for Freddie
This
Peralta.
Brew Crew Tuesday is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. See the action on Fox 6 in Milwaukee and check your local listings for where you can watch over the air statewide on April 15th.
Come on, skinny love, just last a year. To pour a little soul we will never hear. My.
Oh, I could just listen to that for a while. God, he's got a good voice. Of course, that is Bon Iver, who is a Wisconsin native. Good old Wisconsin boy. It was funny, though, because you listen to that song, and I remember when the Kamala Harris campaign had him perform at one of their rallies, and it was after Megan Thee Stallion had performed in Atlanta, and I just was feeling like, I love Bon Iver. I think he is, I'm very proud that he's from the state. I love his music, but I'm not sure he's necessarily someone who gets the people going.
Absolutely
right?
not.
Right? So it's like, I mean, it feels like he doesn't really pump up a crowd because you just kind of want to listen and relax and feel something when you listen to his songs. But why are we talking about Bon Iver? So he was on Jimmy Fallon. I think this was Friday night. And this clip is making the rounds on social media. And truly, you know how there's sometimes you just see something you're like, that is so Wisconsin. The other thing that I saw recently that was so Wisconsin, we had fish fry at Stenny's out in Lake Country in Economowoc on Friday. And they have high chairs that will fit at a high top situation. And on the back of those high chairs, there is a sign that says, "No high chairs at the bar."
Oh my gosh!
Also very, very Wisconsin. Because you can bring, as I know, you can bring babies into bars, but they can't sit at the bar. Anyways, Bon Iver was on Jimmy Fallon on Friday and had this exchange about his neighbor.
They had heard your song on a TV show, Skinny Love, and they just wanted to call and let you know your song was on TV. Listen to this voicemail.
Hey, Justin. Hi, this is Brian, your neighbor. Just thought I'd let you know on The Voice tonight, there's a couple of girls singing Skinny Girl on there. Just thought I'd let you know if you're around. It's on The Voice tonight, Channel 13. Talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye.
Yes! We love you! And Brian?
Brian is the best neighbor in the world. And his wife, Mary, immediately texted me. He's like, sorry he got the name of the song wrong. He didn't mean to,
Skinny Girl.
Skinny Girl on there. I mean, that's how my accent is when I'm back home or visiting around the campfire with Brian, too. But we love you, Brian.
I just love that he called you up just to let you know that Your song was
like, hey,
being
just so you
sung.
know, you've made something of yourself. You're not just a bunch of musicians running around the yard.
Isn't
throwing a
that
frisbee or
great?
whatever, yeah.
And do you get to see Brian? I mean, he's your
Oh
neighbor,
yeah, I
but-
mean we do the in Wisconsin we do the one finger wave on the road or like
Hey there, neighbor.
Yep.
I saw that. I was just beaming because just you have those neighbors.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely have those neighbors. Oh, you're on the channel and you're on the TV. That thing that you did. So yeah, I thought that was one Wisconsin in the Wild that was certainly worth sharing. The other one that I did not know is White Lotus, obviously, very popular show. The season finale of season 3 was last night. It's probably, arguably, one of the most popular shows right now. It's hard to gauge that because everything's so decentralized and streaming, and it's harder to capture attention the way they used to. But either way, she had an incredible monologue in the show last night. And I come to find out, so Carrie Coon, in 2006, she graduated from University of Wisconsin.
That's so crazy.
I did not know that she had a Wisconsin tie. So it's the #1 streaming show right now, obviously. But she stuck around in Wisconsin after she got her MFA in acting at Madison. And so first she was a member of the Madison's Repertory Theater. And then later she was part of American Players Theater. And then after 4 years of local shows, she moved to Chicago, where she got her big break as Honey at the Steppenwolf Theater in the production of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. So there you go. Another Wisconsin in the Wild tie.
The more you know.
The more you know. And then the final one, which we decided not to clip it, because I don't know if it was fine. But SNL did have Mike Myers playing Elon Musk over the weekend in a cheesehead, making jokes about buying the race versus just buying Wisconsin. And so Wisconsin in the Wild across multiple popular shows this weekend.
I love it. Add them to the bunch.
Yeah, absolutely. Then there was another Wisconsin in the Wild in the big tournament. So we'll talk more about that after this.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Pain, tingling, burning in your hand and wrist, wakes you up at night, makes life difficult. Working with your hands is nearly impossible. If that sounds like you may suffer with carpal tunnel syndrome. The problem is Medicare pays for the old open surgery done in a hospital or surgery center. And it's no walk in the park. Big incision, 6-week recovery. I mean, imagine your hands being bandaged up, unable to use it for 6 weeks. So if you want to, you can have that old open surgery the government says to get, or you have another option. An ultra minimally invasive procedure done in the office that can give you immediate relief in 15 minutes and you are back to your life in just 1 day. The Ovation Technique, only at Ovation Hand Institute. You've suffered long enough. You don't have to put the fix off anymore. Visit ovationhand.com and see the difference with your own eyes. ovationhand.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited continues to build amazing backyard spaces. Imagine grilling on your new deck or entertaining friends on your outdoor kitchen. Adding a screen room is another way to enhance your space. Outdoor Living Unlimited provides ideas, custom designs, and installation of some of the area's finest projects. Stop by our showroom on Saturday, April 26th from 9 to 1 p.m. for our open house. See why Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
So wait, Rhea, you said this is part of the March Madness and NCAA tournament?
Yeah, you didn't see the promo for this at all? They have like
If I saw it, I don't think I clocked that this was the song from it.
Oh, they had like the video of the music video and then also the March Madness like highlights. It was really cool.
For both the women and men?
I think it was for sure the men.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the women, but I mean, why not?
All right. Well, yesterday, the women's tournament is officially over. UConn is back on top, which also means that former Germantown high school star, KK Arnold, who earned the McDonald's High School All-American honors in 2023 and was Wisconsin's State Girls Basketball Player of the Year 3 times. She is now also an NC2A Women's National Championship ring holder. She can add that to her trophy case. Yes, they UConn handedly beat South Carolina, who were the reigning champs from last year, 82-59. We were watching the game yesterday, well, mostly because, Mike and I, this is our second year in a row doing a head-to-head bracket.
Okay.
And it's the second year that I've won. So take that, Mike. So we were watching the game, and it was not close for most of the game.
Wow.
And so that was, it wasn't as fun to watch as last year's game was, but I was very happy for UConn, very happy for Paige. And Arnold came off the bench to score 9 points in 15 minutes for the Huskies. And so she made all 3 of her shots from the field and hit 3 of her 5 free throws, and she had 3 assists. So another Wisconsin in the wild. Congratulations to KK. But it was funny because a couple weeks back, so during the Wisconsin girls basketball tournament, we had shared this clip because my mom got all verklempt after the Assumption Royals girls won their division championship. And so we're going to replay a little bit of that conversation of why she got kind of emotional. You got a little emotional over it.
Yes. The story went. I got kind of emotional because we were in the living room, and as you know, Kristin, we get a lot of emergency vehicle traffic that goes by our house because we're close to the hospital. And all of a sudden I heard all kinds of emergency vehicles, and I had to check out to see what it was, and I looked, and squad cars were coming up, but they were going slow, and I thought, what the heck? And then I saw the bus, the Lamers bus, which was carrying the team of girls. And there were 5 squad cars bringing in the bus with the state championship girls on it, followed by fire trucks and everything. And it was fun. It was small town America. But so proud because, everybody's proud that they won, but I was on the first team of girls at Assumption High that actually went someplace to play. We had a team that got to go to 2 schools. That was our conference. And we went to Marshfield, Columbus, and what was then Maria in Stevens Point, which was associated with Pacelli. And that was our whole season.
It was 2 games against 2 different teams.
For 2 games out of school. The rest of everything was all within school, kind of intramurals. But that was how it started for us way back.
Would have that been like 68, 69?
No, it was 72.
Oh, God, okay.
1972. So 1972, which was when we were juniors, and then senior year we added, I think, a school or 2. But I happened to communicate with some of my friends that are still good friends that were on that team, and we laughed because we still remember when we first started learning to play. You had a rover. We laughed because our rover was in the little girls' chat with us. So anyway, it was an exciting day because it made me once again remember how far girls have come in sports and in everything. But right there, it was kind of so visible that the Assumption High girls really had come a long way since I was there, and it made me very proud.
So that was my mom, Debbie Brey. And to add, the reason why I'm bringing this up again, even though that was 3 weeks ago, so they're moving and they're going through, as you do after you've been in a house for 15 plus years, going through stuff, finding stuff. And my mom found her yearbook from, must have been 72. And she took pictures and sent this to us yesterday of the page in the yearbook that was talking about girls' sports. And you turn, it's a, the centerfold page, or there's 2 pages for it, and there's black and white photos of different, there's volleyball, there's track, and then there's the basketball team. And the headline on top is Women's Lib Come to Organize Sports.
My gosh.
So you think about what was happening in the world at that time.
Right.
And just labeling it Women's Lib coming to organize sports. We're giving the girls a chance. But what I love even more is there's a photo of them in their terrible like pennies that they just get matching shorts and a t-shirt, and then they have like things that they have to literally pin over themselves for their numbers.
Oh my God.
And so one of the girls who's trying to shoot a layup, I don't think that's my mom. Nope, that's some woman named Carla Schulberg. She's wearing Converse and high top or high socks. But on the caption underneath her photo, it says, "This is the yearbook. Even girls make a basket once in a while."
Oh my, jeez. Come a long way.
We've come a long way. But then my mom was called out for, because like she said, so there was the rover. So there was some girls who only played offense, some girls who only played defense, and then one girl on each team who got to cross the half court line. So apparently my mom played offense. And so in the little write up for the in its first year of organized program in basketball, the AHS Royal Girls compiled a respectable 6-4 record. Deb Matthews controlled the baseline in many games with both consistent scoring and rebounding. It says she averaged 10 points and 2 rebounds a game. It's so
way to go, Debbie.
Way to go, Debbie. I think that's higher than I averaged when I was in high school.
Yeah, I couldn't have. Not for me.
But yeah, I just thought that was it does not seek to, like, it just doesn't stop amazing me as far as how far we've come with women's sports within my lifetime to a certain extent, but certainly within her lifetime, as far as how big of a deal it was to have a girls basketball team and the fact that they got to play 2 other schools, and they maybe made a basket every once in a while, but a lot of them couldn't run up and down the court, apparently.
And they still made it as champions. Wow.
Yeah, so that was really cool. So it's very fun to watch women's sports right now, for me, for having a daughter, for growing up playing sports, and now also for my mom to watch some of these things. So I thought I would share that story because it was very fun. But I'll post these pictures so people can get the full glory of all of them. But when we come back, last week was actually Living Donor Day, and in Wisconsin, we're really lucky to have UW Health, which is one of the nation's largest living donor programs. So we're going to have a story from them after ABC News and local headlines.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Markets and world leaders reacting over President Trump's sweeping tariffs, and the president now facing pushback here in the U.S.
A handful of Republicans concerned about the president's policy have signed on to bills that would have Congress voting to approve new tariffs. One such bill in the Senate now has 7 GOP co-sponsors, but it's already prompted a White House veto threat. And House Speaker Mike Johnson tells ABC's Jay O'Brien.
We have to give the president space. His strategy is playing out. It's been less than a week, so I think he's owed that.
To impose the latest tariffs, Trump has invoked emergency powers under a law Congress passed in 1977. The unprecedented move has already sparked a legal challenge. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
The president today meeting with Israelis. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House, in addition to talks on the collapse of the Gaza ceasefire deal. Netanyahu says they're working to eliminate tariffs on U.S. goods. Israel's still facing new tariffs imposed by the U.S. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:31. I'm Julia Fellow, your top local story. School continues after a threat. A.E. Burdick School on Milwaukee's South Side held classes as normal today after a threat just after 3 o'clock Sunday. Police say the person sent threatening messages to a student, and they've increased monitoring at the school today. They are searching for an unknown suspect. Reacting to ICE arrests in Milwaukee, one arrest happened at the county courthouse on March 20th, another at the Public Safety Building this past Friday. The sheriff's office says they had no part in either incident. The county chief judge, Carl Ashley, called the incidents potential interference with the justice system and causing confusion over legal protections. The identities of those arrested had not been released. 3 drunk driving arrests in 30 minutes. Oak Creek police made the arrest yesterday morning, started when officers were called to a gas station to break up a fight inside of a car. The driver was eventually arrested for drunk driving. Then an alleged drunk driver got his car stuck in railroad tracks near Drexel Avenue, was taken into custody. And finally, a friend from the gas station incident then arrived to pick him up. Turns out that driver also had a blood alcohol content double the legal limit, according to Oak Creek Police, and was arrested. Charges for all are pending. Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update with a half hour until everything closes. The Dow is down almost 1%, down 350. S&P 500 down 12. NASDAQ down 3. Everything going up and down dramatically throughout the day today. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's take a look at your roads through WTMJ. Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. The only thing I see right now is Highway 18 east at Glenview Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked because there is a disabled vehicle at this time. Some slowdowns there, but everything else looks great in southeast Wisconsin. Let's take a look at your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Clearing skies tonight. It's going to be cold, a low of 22. Sunny Tuesday, tomorrow with a high 39. Rain snow mix chances Wednesday, a high 42. Slight rain chance is going to happen on Thursday, a high 44. Friday, sunny, a high of 40 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's cloudy and 37. Green Bay, 32 degrees. Waukesha and Milwaukee, 32 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:34.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 10 weeks now, currently in the maintenance phase. Hit my goal, 35 pounds. Reached my weight loss goal easy, fast, safely. And I'm going to continue working with a wonderful team at Milwaukee Weight Loss.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Historic Fox & Hound Supper Club gift cards make perfect year-round birthday, anniversary, and thank you gifts. With the buy one dinner, get one free offer, it's like getting a free gift card. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com and enjoy your free dinner. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I'm Kristin Brey, and last week was Living Donor Day. And here in Wisconsin, we are very lucky to have UW Health, which is one of the nation's largest living donor programs, where they have for kidney and liver donors and recipients. So around Christmas, I think it was around Christmas that we shared the story of a sister who was a living donor to her sister. But how about the story of a father being a match with his adopted baby girl? So joining us on the phone now is that dad, Sean Isles, and the surgeon, his daughter's surgeon who completed the transplant, Dr. Katrin Faruya. Welcome to the show to both of you.
Hi. Thank you. Great to be here.
Hi. So Sean, tell us about your daughter, Ellie, and when did you and your husband first adopt her?
So we adopted her back in November of 2023. We were selected by a birth mom. She actually wasn't due until December, but came 5 weeks early. So we trekked over to Michigan and got to meet her on day 2.
And so you had her for, so she was a preemie, but when did you start realizing that there was something happening and kind of realizing that maybe there was more, like you needed to see a doctor?
Yeah, so we sort of noticed her eyes were yellowish from birth, but her numbers were normal. So in April or end of March 2024, we took her just for her formal appointment, and her nurse practitioner noticed that her liver was hard and larger than normal. So had us rush over to the emergency room at UW in Madison, and that's where we met Dr. Faruya and started the whole process that we went through for transplant.
And so, doctor, can you tell us more about what Ellie's diagnosis was?
Actually, first, could I just say I'm not her transplant surgeon?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I'm her transplant hepatologist, so the medical part of things as opposed to the surgical part. Ellie had something called biliary atresia, which is a disease that's only seen in infants. So adults can't get it. And the diagnosis is usually made shortly after birth. We like to make that diagnosis within the first 2 months of age. Ellie was a bit late when she was diagnosed, but biliary atresia is a disease in which there's a progressive inflammatory scarring that occurs with the bile ducts inside and outside the liver. So eventually the bile that's made in the liver can't go from the liver into the intestinal tract where bile normally helps you digest your food. And biliary atresia is the most common cause for liver transplant in children.
Oh, wow. And so is it something that you're just born? Is it a birth defect, or what is the likelihood of a child having it?
It's not that common. It's not really a birth defect. Part of it's not a genetic disorder in that you have identical twins who can be born and only one of them will have it. But we really don't know to date, even though there's a lot of research that's been done on it, we still don't know to date what the cause of biliary atresia is.
Interesting. So Ellie was put on a donors list, but the family started getting tested. Now, Sean, did you have any idea? Did you think that there was a chance that you would be a match?
I really didn't. I mean, the only thing that started the process that led me or allowed me to go forward with the process was that me and Ellie were a blood match. My husband was not, so he actually could not move forward. But just considering my size and her size at the time, she was such a little peanut during this whole process and malnourished. I don't think in my mind I thought I would ever be a match for her.
Well, and doctor, how common is that? It doesn't matter on size as far as when you're looking for organ matches. What are you looking for when someone becomes an organ donor, and what they need to be able to be a match?
Well, blood type is the first thing, and the second thing is the size. So fortunately, in infants, we can wait for a deceased donor and look for a whole organ, but it's very difficult to have an organ that becomes available in that size group. And in fact, the highest waiting list mortality is children under a year of age compared to all others. So, but fortunately, we can use part of a liver, so that's why living donor donation works. Living liver donation works in for children because we can use part of an adult liver. Typically, we use the left lateral segment of the liver, and that gets transplanted. And Oftentimes it's a parent donating to their child, their infant child, and usually if we use the left lateral segment, oftentimes that will fit.
So obviously there's this happy ending to this story, and everyone is healthy and happy. But Sean, how did recovery go for you?
In all honesty, it was not too bad. I had never had a major surgery in my life, so I think that was the hardest part. I really wanted to be with Ellie. She was in the PICU at UW for a few weeks, so trying to motivate myself to get up and start walking to get there was a big motivator. The hardest part was the weight restriction, so I wasn't able to pick her up at the time, and that part was hard. But overall, I would say, I mean, we're 7-8 months in now, and I would say I'm 100% recovered. So it wasn't too bad.
And how was Ellie's recovery, doctor?
Oh, Ellie is doing fabulous. Her growth and development really picked up when she had her transplant. And I'm predicting right now she's walking with one finger because I've seen her holding on by one finger. But I anticipate when she comes back to see me in clinic, she'll be walking under her own steam.
Would you agree with that, Sean? Is she just about to start running around on her own?
Oh my gosh, she could do it right now. I think she's just trying to keep us all on our toes. So she took one little step this weekend, and we both gasped, but she's totally there. She could totally do it if she wanted to.
Well, careful what you wish for. I have a 1.5-year-old, and she is hard to contain. So once they start going, they're not going to stop. Well, this is such an incredible story, and so happy that it has such a happy ending. And like I said, we're so lucky to have UW Health right here doing the incredible work that they're doing with living donations. And so thank you both for being with us today.
My pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Dr. Katrin Faruya is a pediatric I'm having a hard time saying words. She works at UW Health Kids, and Sean Isles is the father who just donated part of his liver to his daughter, Ellie. So we'll be back with more after this.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
I'm Sandy Max, and it is time for another monthly Monday makeover.
Hi, Sandy. Thanks for coming to Merle Norman Cosmetic Salon and Spa.
It is absolutely my pleasure. And today we're talking about the power of using makeup brushes.
Having the right tool just makes the job so much easier. Think about when you're cooking in your kitchen. You have your favorite knife that you grab. It either feels good in your hand or you know it's going to cut through that particular piece really well. The same thing happens with your makeup, too. If you have the right brush to apply your foundation is going to look flawless. If you have the right brush to apply your eyeshadows, they're going to go on so smooth.
Sometimes your cosmetics come with a brush, so I've got that one. Do I need other brushes?
Well, the brushes that come with it are good in a pinch, but they're not going to do as great a job.
So how do I pick the right brush? How do I know?
Well, you can come in for advice, of course, and we'll be happy to show you the brushes.
How do you maintain a quality brush?
Well, you should wash them at least once a week with a quality brush cleaner. Brush cleaners are designed to break down makeup and then also to provide some antibacterial aspect to it. Brushes contain a lot of bacteria. We put them in a closed container, either a drawer or a closet, right? And it just is a breeding ground. We have a great set for spring and Mother's Day for gift giving, but you can gift it to yourself as well. It's a little brush duo, and it has 2 brushes. So one of them is for the face, so you would have a powder brush and a blush brush, and the other's a great little eyeshadow brush and eye shader brush. And they're beautiful, they're nice, they feel good in your hand like that good knife, and they're really super soft. So those are a limited edition, and we have them in stock now while supplies last.
And I love that they're multi-purpose, that you're using both ends.
It's so much easier for those of us that like to travel that we don't have to carry, 10 brushes with us because they're very multi-purpose.
When you have a nice brush like that, you are going to look and feel your best because you're applying the product the right way.
Right. And your product's going to last you a lot longer, too.
Call Merle Norman or book online at mnsalonbrookfield.com.
Brewers baseball is the sound of summer in Milwaukee. And now you can catch the Brewers on local TV for select Tuesday night games.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she
It's
goes.
Brew Crew Tuesdays. On April 15th, the Crew take on the Detroit Tigers at 6:40 p.m.
Half swing. He went. Another strikeout for Freddie Peralta.
This Brew Crew Tuesday is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. See the action on Fox 6 in Milwaukee and check your local listings for where you can watch over the air statewide on April 15th.
All I want to do is drink beer for breakfast.
Indeed, it is National Beer Day. I feel like there's a lot of these. I feel like there's International Beer Day, and then it's just like there's a bunch of cheese days too that we get to like claim all of them. But this one is celebrated every April 7th, and it commemorates the exact day in 1933 when people could legally buy, sell, and drink, emphasis on legally, beer after 13 years of prohibition.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy to think about? Just the 13 years of, when you think about how much we, as a country, we drink now and how normal it is and how you feel like the odd one out, especially in this state, if you're not drinking.
Right.
And
I
for over a decade, it was, you had to do it in private, in secret. But yeah.
Speakeasy.
At a speakeasy. So yeah, although President Franklin D. Roosevelt officially signed the Cullen-Harrison Act into law on March 22nd, it didn't actually take effect until April 7th. And I guess after signing the history-reversing legislation, Roosevelt famously quipped, quote, "I think this would be a good time for a beer." And then Americans stood united in bars coast to coast, consuming 1.5 million barrels of beer that day. I don't even know how to like understand how many pools is that? Put it in Olympic pool size. How many Olympic pools does 1.5 million barrels of beer fill? I'm looking at you like you would know off the top of your head right now.
The last person to ask.
But yeah, and so there you go. So a history tie for your beer today, although it is Monday, and so maybe not the best day for a beer.
I mean, you always start the week off strong. It snowed this morning.
It did snow. Is that your excuse? Is that your litmus test for, am I going to drink today? I was like, well, the weat's bad.
Let's
doom
go
and
for
gloom.
it. Just like sit inside and just do it. What's your favorite beer, actually?
And I'm an IPA girl.
Really?
Does that surprise you?
A little bit. So that's kind of hard.
Bourbon and IPA. I killed a lot of my taste buds being with my cigarette and coffee diet when I was in my early 20s, and so I like things that have very strong flavors.
Goodness, IPA. Which one?
The Carbon 4, the one with the crazy cat on it.
Oh, you told me about this one before. Yeah, I've never had it.
There's
before.
Zombie Dust is really good. What am I? I'm totally blanking on the name. It was with the cat riding the unicorn.
Yeah, I've never. You told me, and I was like, I have never seen that in my lifetime.
I'm blanking on it. I'm gonna look it up. And
All right.
I'll come back and report what it is.
Simple. High Life.
High
every
Life.
day.
Oh, High Life. Yeah, High Life's great.
Yeah, champagne of beers.
Yeah, classic. All right, when we come back, I'll tell you what the name of the beer is that I can't think of, and we'll say goodbye.
You can search for the biggest bat selection, but I'm here to save you time because the best baseball and softball bat selection in the Midwest is right here at Burkhardt Sporting Goods. We stock just about every bat on the market from all the top manufacturers like Easton, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Marucci, and more, and sell them all at the guaranteed lowest prices. So get in here and try a few out in our indoor batting cages. There's no need to look any further because when it comes to bats, if you want it, we got it at Burkhardt Sporting Goods.
You can't beat Burkhardt.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spiritware is vital. That's why Burkhart Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spiritwear from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spiritwear and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhart.
You can't beat Burkhart.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy 1, 2, or a set of 4. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Get your aches and pains under control. But not only that, regular care with Connect Chiro can bring back your energy. A lot of folks start with headaches, back pain, and shoulder pain. How quickly you see results varies from person to person, but time and repetition are the key to staying on track. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Connect Chiro docs use a special tool for all your adjustments, targeted results, and a gentler experience. Check out the new location in Oak Creek or get started at GoConnectChiro.com.
I believe it's time for me to fly.
Fantasy Factory. Fantasy Factory Carbon 4. I don't know why I glitched out on that. Great can. One of the best beer cans I've ever seen.
I mean, a cat and a unicorn.
It's a cat riding a unicorn. The cat has like a bandana on and has like a motion of like charge. The standing cat on its hind legs. And he's not riding it. And it's like it's just a psychedelic free for all.
Does it taste psychedelic?
No, it tastes like an IPA. That's great.
I would love to know the backstory behind that.
I'm sure they weren't sober when they came up with it. That's my betting. I'm betting on that. The other answer from the 708, 1.5 million barrels of beer is equivalent to a little over 70 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
Jesus, that's a lot.
Now, I did not fact check that, but I'm going to take their word for it.
Yeah, me too. That's a lot.
That's a lot. It's a lot of beer. Especially, I'm trying to think of what the population would have been back then. Less than it is now.
Absolutely. They were just chugging it back. Secretly.
Celebration. And then was there one more? Oh, and then we had Judith said that she was, for the girls' sports, she was on the first girls' track team at Pulaski. So, yeah, that's very cool, Judith.
Did you run track?
No.
Really?
Mike ran track.
Mike's very long legs?
No, I'm not. I mean, I think I was like, I'm not slow.
Yeah.
But I wasn't fast.
Like if you had to do like a foot race now, do you think you'd win?
I can't even, no. This is no, especially since having a baby. If you know, you know. I'm not a runner anymore.
Oh, man.
My foot race, no.
Oh, man.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe against like you and Brandon.
I think I would.
I'd smoke you.
Oh, Brandon said you smoke us.
So yeah, I could probably beat Brandon in horse though. I would guarantee I can beat him in horse. I can. Besides Ben Brust, most people at the Milwaukee Good Karma Brands, I would say that I could probably beat in horse.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that out there. Maybe this summer at Summerfest we can do it. All right. Well, coming up next, of course, is Wisconsin's afternoon news. Julia Fellow is back. We will be back tomorrow. We have a very full show. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. We have Giving Tuesday. So we're going to be talking to a student who is organizing, it's not quite a food drive, but she is making sure students don't go hungry at University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire. So I can't wait to talk about that. And then actually my brother's teammate from UWM, so go Panthers, is starting a new fund to try to compete when it comes to the portal. So the UW Milwaukee men's Panthers can be competitive as we continue to navigate this new world of name, image, likeness, and all of the college sports. Although Wisconsin Badgers, I think, got a big trade this weekend. So we'll learn more about that. But yeah, so tomorrow's show will be another full of fun. Maybe there'll be more beer references. I don't know. But stay tuned. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
If you have a snoring problem or sleep apnea, odds are you have blockage in both your throat and your nose. Now, for those